Hey, it's the Ray Regan, and I, you know, every day I'm reading stuff, I'm watching uh, videos, and especially that I'm doing stuff around the house. I put something on, I have my go-to favorites. I have my Dan Bongino, I have my uh, Ben Shapiro, my Tim Pool. Those are usually my go-to during the day. But if I've already watched all of them, all this stuff during the day, or if I just want to just watch something different, I'll just see some of the suggestions. So some of the suggestions that came forth today was this show called Slightly Offensive, and I clicked on it and I was watching the video and I was just there like, wow. So I'm gonna share the beginning of it because in the beginning of the video they talk about oh, sorry. That's my food that's my excuse me. That is my recipe that for a dinner that I want to do. Let's see. Here we go. That's the right thing I want to share. So here we go. I just want to share this really quick, just so you can see like the what what I'm gonna rant about, so you can see. First one to celebrate me being Harlan. Harlan.
Well, I celebrated that you were banned on Twitter because you repeatedly tweeted that my husband should be deported, Lauren.
He's a illegal alien. I don't really know how much you know about me, but I'm probably the most vocal anti-children transitioning person on the internet. It's what I'm. Right. I like you.
The best thing you can do for us is grow out your mustache and tell people not to live like you.
So yeah, Blair White's another person I follow just because she's her videos are funny and but they're also informative, and it's really gross that they that was a really gross comment by that lady. I used that uh I use that. Sorry, got a phone call. I use that sparingly because that was really gross what she said. And here's the here's why when people go, why can't you call yourself a Republican? Why can't you call yourself a conservative? Because of Puritans like this. You have Puritans on the left because that's what's going on right now. If you don't bow to their woke ideology, you're done, and that's the problem. It's the same thing, but the good thing on the right is those people like her, they're not the majority of the party anymore. And you have people like Carlin, you have people like Blair White, you have people like me, you have people like Dave Rubin, Rob Smith, um, that will talk about these issues that, where you have the big tent. I know she talked about in the video that she's talking about how, that people like us, we have a party, it's called the Libertarian Party. Well, you know what? If if she doesn't like what the direction the party is moving in, you know what? Go, what are you going to vote for? Democrats? It's not going to happen. So at the end of the day, if people like us that are going to, take over the party, then so be it. I am religious, but I'm a Christ follower, but I don't push those beliefs on other people. You want to talk about it with me, we could talk about it. I'll talk to you about my faith. I'm more than happy to do that. But I'm not gonna, if um my best friend of 30 years is a lesbian. You know, I so for people to say something like that, um to Blair White, who's someone who she's a conservative in her for with most of her thought process, but there's some things where she might be more liberal, so to speak. And for someone like her, this other person to say that, this is what turns people off to the party, to the you can't not include people just because the fact that you disagree. You can't have this Puritan belief that if you don't agree with everything I agree with, then you can't be part of the party. And that's, you know, you can't do that. Uh, you, it's going to turn people off, and you can't. It's gross. It's just really gross. There's no other way to say it. I came from a church that, when I lived in Texas, is they were it was very inclusive church. They welcomed everybody. Not black, white, Asian, Hispanic, gay, straight, bi, didn't matter. As long as we were all there doing, we were there for one thing, and that was to worship Christ. So people need to stop with this rigid that this is the way. No, we're not ever going to agree on everything. And if you are going to kick people out, so to speak, of a party or the movement or whatever you want to call it, it's not gonna work. We can't always all agree and see eye to eye on everything. Because see, that's what's going on the left. You have to agree with their woke ideology, or if not, you have to keep your mouth shut. Like, people like with the stuff that's going on with the culture war. We got, Looney Tunes, Disney, and all that. There's people who think it's so stupid, but they go, "Oh, it's not the end of the world. It's not a big deal." No, it's with the Dr. Seuss. No, it's not it doesn't sound like a big deal, but it's incrementalism. Okay, so let's say there's offensive imageries in the book, there's offensive words in the book. Let's ban it. Okay, so what? We're gonna ban. They're also banning other books, like old books that have the N word in it, because of was it like Of Mice and Men, or what's Tom Sawyer, books like that, where you know it's just words. Just read the story. You'll see. Even, I mean, it's a quote unquote progressive book when you look at the story of its uh, uh, where if you look at the story, especially if you look at it in its historical context. Um, but people want, they want to make, let's say the early 1900s to today, and you can't make the comparisons. You have to uh, put the book in its perspective. And same thing with the founding of our country. You got to put it into its perspective. Did we, were we living up to our ideology in the beginning? No. But you get there. You get there gradually. But what the left is doing now is just pushing us so far left that we don't, it's not, we're not America anymore. They're pushing us toward uh, socialism, toward communism, toward, you know, I mean, it seems like the way the left is going, they'd be happy if we be China, if we would just become part of China. Um, but let me not make this about the left. Like I said, this video is about seeing that video on the extreme right wing person, and this is where those are the type of people that will turn people off to the movement, and those are the people that need to just be put in the periphery. And um, because I'm not going to say they need to be marginalized. I'm going to say they just need to be, let their voices be heard. But at the end of the day, those are not the type of people that should speak for even conservatives, because I'm sure look, freedom is a conservative issue. Freedom is a libertarian issue, and the left is going toward authoritarian. Not that there isn't right wing authoritarians, but right now the party and the movement of authoritarianism is coming from the left. And you have those people like this. I think her name was Lauren on the right that are also authoritarians, and you know when it comes to that authoritarian wing of the party, they need to be, you can listen to some of their ideas. When it comes to their iron fist, no. Um, we need to ignore that portion of their beliefs, because we can't have this puritanism. We can't have this authoritarian part of the party. Let's unite on what we agree on, and that's about being free. and that's where we have to, to use the word collectively, to collectively combine our forces to keep our freedom. I know it's a hard concept, but for individualists to do, but it's like if we want to keep our individuality, we need to uh, combine on on what values we share, and not focus on the values that divide us. To me, I think someone like Blair White is a good example of, look, she's someone who's transitioned. She still has a junk, but she's gone through this whole transformation. She seems like she's a happy person now, and you know what? More power to people like that. If trans people, if it makes them happy, you know what? If it makes them happy, then they're free to do it. And what I like about Blair is that she doesn't push this stuff onto children. That's why I don't care. If when you're an adult and you want to make that mistake, you make that mistake. That's on you. You're an adult. You can make your own choices. But I'm not going to do that to a child. I'm not going to put my child on puberty blockers or anything like that. When they're 18, and even then, 18 is still too young. I think this is something that the human mind doesn't form till like 25 or something like that. So even at 18, even though you're legally an adult and you can make that choice, you can make that mistake for yourself. You need to do that to find yourself, so be it. Just, it is what it is. Do what, I will, like I said, I will always err on the side of freedom. And even though I'm a Christian, I will I will pray for you. That's what I will do. I'm not going to force my beliefs on you. I saw that with the religious right in the 80s, and it turned me off. It's what um made me a Democrat growing up, and I don't want to see the right go back to that, because what's going on right now is you. I call them the woke left. The woke left is the religious right, is the current religious right of the '80s. That's what they are. They're Puritanism. You have to believe exactly how they believe. If not, you need to be silenced. You need to be, held accountable, which is nonsense. It's cancel culture. It's the culture war. And where culture goes is where the country's going to go. And that's where the battle is right now. And that's where, I put my foot into liberty. I don't put my foot onto authoritarianism. So, uh, hope you guys like my video. Like I said, I like to watch Dan Bongino, and he said to follow me. He goes, apparently that's the word that they say you should use. So follow me on YouTube. Follow me at Rumble. Also social media. I'm on pretty much all platforms. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, um, Gab, Parlor, Clout Hub. What am I forgetting? Any of the other ones? So I'm on all those platforms. You could, um, it's the same. It's the Right Rican. I'm on all those platforms. So please follow me there and like my videos, and leave comments, and have a good one, guys.